Hey, what's up? I hope you're all having a good day or night, depending on where you are or what time you're watching this right now. I know I haven't uploaded in a couple days, but just been busy, that's all. Um, back now. Anyway, tonight we are doing some trivia questions. I don't know, it feels like it's been a minute since my last trivia video, so that's what I'm doing tonight. Anyway, it's just this time the trivia is all going to be about music and artists and genres and stuff like that. And bands. Um, Hopefully you like music. I should say everybody should like music, but to be fair, I didn't really get into music until like 7th grade. Before that, I don't know why, I just wasn't into the whole song thing. I just preferred movies overall, everything. But, finally came to my senses, and now I like music, like, a lot. so, anyway, first question. What British band released Bohemian Rhapsody? Which British band released Bohemian Rhapsody? Okay, that was Queen. Queen released Bohemian Rhapsody. And also feel free to comment your answers as we go along. And like I just did, I'm basically just going to read the question, wait a few seconds, and tell you the answer. So if you're going to tell me your answers in the comments, don't wait until I give you the right answer because, well, or you can. That's what I would do, honestly. Do what you want to do. Alright, number 2. Which artist is known as the King of Pop? Which artist is known as the King of Pop? That was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. What musical symbol increases the pitch of a note by a half step? That is a very, very detailed question. What musical symbol increases the pitch of a note by a half step? That is a sharp. A sharp. Who composed Fur Elise? Fur Elise. That was Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven. I honestly haven't heard much from Beethoven in a few years. I mean, for one, because he lived like 200 years ago, but also because I learned about him in like 5th grade, and ever since then, he's never really been brought up again in any music class I've had. So, no, he was pretty impressive though. So, there's that. What decade did MTV first launch? What decade did MTV first launch? MTV launched in the 80s. In the 80s, specifically 1981, is when MTV first launched. Which instrument has 88 keys? Which instrument has 88 keys? That would be the piano. I just feel like the piano would be a pretty safe guess for that one. There's also a keyboard, I guess, or a xylophone. Do the xylophone pieces count as keys? I don't know. Anyway, the Grammy Awards are primarily associated with what industry? With what industry? Here's a hint. It's what all the questions are about. sports are associated with the music industry. Okay. Now, let's see. Which boy band released I Want It That Way in 1999? That would be the Backstreet Boys. I'm not gonna lie to you, I used to be like really into that song in middle school. Yeah, what can I say? It had a good beat to it. So, wasn't bad. Which band released Dark Side of the Moon in 1973? Almost knocked over the microphone. That would have been bad. Okay. Who released Dark Side of the Moon in 1973? That was Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd released Dark Side of the Moon in 1973. Okay, who is known as the Queen of Soul? The Queen of Soul. That would be Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin. I didn't know much about her before college, and then my very first semester during my music class, I learned like a lot more about her, and I'd say she deserves the title Queen of Soul. I mean, she was pretty awesome, What year did the Beatles break up? What year did the Beatles break up? They broke up in 1970. 1970. Which singer released the song Like a Virgin in 1984? That would be Madonna. Madonna. These questions are kind of like older music areas. I mean, Madonna isn't that old. It's only the 80s, but like, I don't know. All the music I like kind of just is, for the most part, older music like that. I don't really have many songs in my playlist that have been like, that came out since like 2010. So, I mean, there are a fair few. Like, my favorite band, they didn't even start until like 5 years ago. But like, apart from them, I can't really think of many bands who are new that I like. Okay. Who was the lead singer of Nirvana? Lead singer of Nirvana. That was Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain. I don't listen to many Nirvana songs, but I do have like, I don't know. I'd say I have like their most popular ones in my playlist, like Something in the Way. That one really only became popular once Batman came out, though. And then their most popular song, I'm blanking on the name of it, but their most famous one, the one where people say like you can't even understand what Kurt Cobain is saying in it. That one, I also like that one. And there's a couple more that I can't think of at all right now. Which U2 album featured the song With or Without You? That was the Joshua Tree album. The Joshua Tree album. See, I don't really know much about U2. I don't really know much of anything about them besides like their hit songs, I guess. What hip hop group released the song Sabotage in the song Purple Haze. Purple Haze. That was Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. Now who sang My Heart Will Go On from Titanic? I guess the song was in Titanic, but who sang it? That was Celine Dion. Celine Dion. Haven't really heard a lot from Celine Dion. I know she's famous, like very, very popular, but just the genre of music she sings isn't really my go-to, you know. I don't think I'll hear any like heavy metal stuff from Celine Dion. So who released the album Thriller in 1982? Okay, I don't care if you only like strictly listen to music from like the past decade. You have got to know the answer to this question. It's like a rule to know who sang Thriller, you know? Okay. That was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. I hope you got that one right. Which singer's debut album was called Songs in a Minor? Songs in a Minor, whose debut album was called Songs in a Minor. My goodness, okay. Sorry, I know, like, when it said minor, it meant like the musical term minor, but like, with all of like the minor stuff going around recently with like the Catcher videos and the files and all that, the first thing my mind went to, that's insane. That is insane. Anyway, the answer to the singer's debut album, that was Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. I think I read the album title wrong. I think it's like Songs in A Minor, not like Songs in a Minor. Because like A minor is like the term for the music thing, is like the music term A minor, right? I don't know like what it's for. I've heard it a few times. So yeah. What band released the album American Idiot in 2004? What band released the album American Idiot in 2004? That was Green Day. Green Day. They're like the very first band I ever discovered or like heard about, or like they're the first band I learned about after learning what bands were, you know? Like I learned about them in like kindergarten or something. Because my mom listened to them all the time back then. And now I do. They're my favorite. I mean, their genre of rock is like kind of like punk rock or like garage band rock. They're my favorite group of that subgenre. Okay. Which group performed Say My Name? Which group performed Say My Name? That was Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child. Who sang Single Ladies in 2008? Who sang Single Ladies in 2008? That was Beyonce. Beyonce. I'm sure y'all have heard about Beyonce. Beyonce. Um, which band released Smells Like Teen Spirit? Which band released Smells Like Teen Spirit? That was Nirvana, and that's the most famous song, by the way. That's the one I couldn't think of that I also really liked. It Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's it. That's the one. What British singer released Back to Black in 2006? Who released Back to Black in 2006? That was Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse. Which rapper released the Marshall Mathers LP in 2000? The Marshall Mathers LP. Who released that? That was Eminem. Eminem released the Marshall Mathers LP. Who sang No Scrubs in 1999? Who sang No Scrubs in 1999? That was TLC. TLC. Which artist released the album Confessions in 2004? Who released the album Confessions in 2004? That was Usher. Usher released Confessions. What rapper released Get Rich or Die Tryin' in 2003? In 2003. That was 50 Cent. 50 Cent. Okay, and who performed the 1992 hit I Will Always Love You? The 1992 hit I Will Always Love You. That was Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. A lot of these artists, like, in these recent questions, I haven't really listened to a whole lot of them, but I mean, they're famous for good reason, you know. Okay, now, let's see. Which band sang Hotel California? Which band sang Hotel California? That was the Eagles. The Eagles, or just Eagles. What pop stars' fans are called? Arianators. Am I reading that right? Yeah, Arianators. Yeah, Arianators. What fan base or for which artist is that? Wait. For which artist is the fan base called that? I don't know if I'm doing English right currently, but yeah, I'll just reread the question. That'll make it easier. What pop stars fans are called